So hey everyone, this is today is the first episode, if you will, of Tripp Talks. Coach Trippi. So we're a happy, healthier living blog, and a part of Happier and Healthier is self-enrichment. And I just want to get out there with great people from the community that do great things. My first guest of Tripp Talks is Banks Helfrich.
Wait a minute, I'm the first guest?
You are the first guest.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm honored, Jeff.
I'm honored to have you. I'm honored to have you.
Oh, great. I love that you have a bicycle hanging in the back.
I think I'm going to go for a bike ride right after this interview because it's a beautiful day out.
Talking about self-enrichment.
It's beautiful. You know, I go right out to development. I'm in downtown Claremont within 20 minutes.
Yeah, you got the trail right
The
next
trail,
to it.
they extended it recently, right to my entryway.
Yeah, I love that. And you got you live way in the back of this neighborhood, and it's, you can see, you're like on a high area, so you can see.
Yeah. I come down the hill and I flick the lights and there's Mia. And she's in the doorway. I see her little ears just looking for her daddy.
You're doing this, and is she texting? Is she playing video games or something?
She's a smarty pants. I have to put video in the house to know what
Mia's
she's doing.
a dog, though, right?
Mia is my dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's not texting. I don't know what she is doing when I'm not home. Banks.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I want to start with is the college you went to. I thought that was really interesting when I found that out about you. We've been friends for a long time. Like I said, we've served together on the Lake County Soil and Water Conservation District Board. We did great stuff there. But getting to know you on that board, I found out what college you went to, and you went to Ringling Brothers College.
I did. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, Clown College.
Clown College,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, not the Ringling College.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, I went and learned how to be a clown, 11 weeks. Did a CBS special with Dick Van Dyke, worked with him for a little bit.
And you are the Bubble Man.
Bubble Man.
How is it? I've seen your videos.
Jiggle Man.
Jiggle Man. The Jiggle Man.
I have a lot of balloons. There is a Bubble Man out there, and I'm not the Bubble Man.
You're the Jiggle Man.
I'm the Jiggle Man, yeah, and it's a different...
It's a cool show, though. It's on YouTube, right?
I have some videos on YouTube. I do schools and libraries, festivals. Groveland Library. I've done the Claremont Library. It's not Claremont Library. It's Cooper Memorial Library.
Cooper Memorial Library.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about that is did they only graduate 1,400 people over the course of time?
Oh my gosh! Did you do research on that?
I did.
Oh my God!
I did.
I tell people it's 1,500. I'm going to tell people now it's 1,400.
It's 1,400.
1,400, and it was 92 is when they finished, I think. I was there 87, and 87 was 20 years, so 25 years. In 25 years, basically 1,500.
You were one of 1,500.
One of roughly 1,400.
It's actually 1,400.
Okay.
That I did research. That's before you got here.
Yeah, and out of my class, which is 50, only 14 went on the road to be a clown, and I was one of the 14. And then over the course of the year or two, there was like 24 of us, so half of us actually.
So you were actually on the road with the circus, or were you on the road just?
No, I was on the road with the circus.
Really?
I was in the red unit, which was I lived on a train. My room was 4 feet by 6 feet, which is just about barely enough for me to sleep in. I had 2 windows that I could see the world, the country go by, and it was
crazy. It was great, right?
Oh my God!
Amazing.
I saw the country from the viewpoint of a train hobo. So I performed all around the country, and then I was invited to go to Japan and perform there. So I was a clown in Japan for about 9 months.
Wow!
So 2 years.
2 years. That is amazing. I don't think that opportunity is available anymore, right? They've closed that college, right?
There's no more. 92, I think, was the last year, Ringling Brothers. There are clown colleges, not through Ringling Brothers. In fact, Ringling Brothers is no longer.
Right. But I heard they're making a comeback eventually.
Oh, they are?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
It's
something you read.
It's something I read, but it's not official. But I heard. I know it is because the elephants are out in Sarasota now in a preserve somewhere.
Actually, they're like Davenportish.
Really?
Area, so
they're not far at all.
In fact, you can probably smell them.
I'm not far from Davenport. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was still Sarasota, but no, I didn't know that.
No, it's yeah. There's also a sanctuary up in Williston, I think, up near Ocala. I've been there.
You don't know how many elephants are out there, do you? That were,
With the circus, 40, 50.
there was that many?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
So when you traveled, did they traveled in the train cars behind you, or was it different cars when you were on the road with the circus?
We had our own cars, and maybe they hired engineers for the engines part of it. I don't know if they hired, but all these cars, there were like 40 cars.
And that was everything.
And that was elephants, and that was camels,
And the
zebras,
and
and
the
people,
gear.
and the gear, and the setup. We were in big arenas, kind of like you see in Orlando, those kind of arenas.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to bring our own tent.
Right. Oh, they set you up. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was not a tent. In Japan, I was in a tent. We were in a tent, and we were in Osaka for like 3.5 months, and then about 4 months, 5 months in Tokyo.
Wow, that is so neat.
Yeah, that was a lifetime ago, as I say.
And then we're gonna go on to, then you carried on into what did you do after you left the circus?
Wow. So I worked at Universal Studios.
You did?
I was a performer there right when they opened, 89.
Wow.
And I did that for, about 11 years.
And then you got into politics.
The politics came 2018. So
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
recently.
Yeah.
And you ran for Florida House, right?
Florida House District 25.
You loved it, right? You loved running.
Oh my God! I get to meet the most interesting people, and you have to put yourself out there. You just got to go out there, and that's what I did. I had no fear. I don't even know if I was in this neighborhood. I might have been in this neighborhood knocking on doors.
Yeah.
And you meet people. You go to wherever the people are. You let them know that you're serious about representing them.
You met people also, because I watched your campaign all the time. I got every Facebook alert. You met a lot of people interesting people that were serving the community, different organizations. So do you want to talk about any of them? And then you also went to the Lake County Leadership School.
Yeah.
And you met a lot of different organizational people there too, as well.
Right. So about 3 months into the campaign, I was part of a book club. It's called Better Business Book Club. It's still going on. It's at the Sunshine Book Co. in downtown Claremont. And
check it out.
Check it out. I read a book in the book club. It's called The Giver, not the Go Getter, the Go Giver. That was the name of the book, and it was all about giving instead of trying to go out there and get everything. And it changed my whole viewpoint of the campaign. And I was like the yes man after that. You asked me to join your club if I had the time and the money. I said yes. I joined 14 organizations. I joined everything: Elks, 2 chambers, 2 book clubs, Thrive, South Lake Business Leaders, South Lake Connect. Just so many of them. Kiwanis, Claremont, and then after the campaign, I didn't have enough time for all that. I was so busy. I had to pick and choose where to go to. And after the campaign, I decided, okay, where was my heart in all this? Nonprofits. I love the nonprofit. Those people are there giving, go giving. They were just giving. And by them giving, I was like, this is where my heart is. So I kind of backed off on the business aspect, and now I'm just focused in on just a few. Thrive. I'm a volunteer with Thrive. It empowers teenage kids to do what they want to do. We give them a space and a mission to create whatever they want to create, and say, here, you even have a budget. What do you make the decisions?
Wow.
Yeah, it's good.
So give us an example of one of the kids that you worked with, and the budget. Can you do that, or have you been that close to the organization?
Thrive is empowering kids, and the adults basically are there just if they have any questions, like, hey, how do we do this? They come up with a group, a team of kids. There's a TAC, stands for TAC, AC, committee, Teen Action Committee, maybe.
Teen Action Committee, yeah.
And they decide what they want to do. Hey, do we want to go to Martin Luther King Day parade and have a float or have a tent? Do we want to give money to this charity? Do we want to raise money and do this? How do we? They get to decide it.
And you give them direction.
Yeah, we're just there to give them directions. Give a Day Foundation with Otis. Oh man, he does the similar stuff too. And it's the kids come, they volunteer. It's a volunteer organization, and you meet the kids on their level. Oh man, that was great. That was a great one. Another one I really like, Kiwanis of Claremont. They work with kids. You see a theme happening here?
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely.
You
And
know,
that's
this
a big
is-
part of my feeling is there's a lot of kids out there that just get lost in the system. You know, school's not really their thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes they're not that athletic. So they turn to other things that we don't want them turning to. And that's why these organizations do great things. And that's why I want to know all about them. I'm just like you, want to reach out to all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And just yesterday I was driving and there was this wild horse rescue. It was a magnet. And that's out in Webster.
Oh yeah, there is one closer. It's called Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher is over near where I live. And they are a rescue for horses, and they have lots of horses. But however, they're a rescue for people who are finding what they love to do, and horses are just magical creatures. Yeah, Dreamcatcher, they're great. Allison.
I called the lady right from her. I'm staring at her magnet. I called her. I said, "Hey, let's talk. I'm going to call Dreamcatcher." That's what.
So were you in the car, and she was in the
She
car?
was in front of me, and I told her. I
Hey,
said, "I
I'm
know
behind."
this is strange, but I'm right behind you." And she laughed, and I said, "I'm going to be calling you in about a week, and I'm going to be seeing if I can come out to your place." And she said, "It's out in Webster." I said, "Well, my mom lives out in the villages, so I'll make a day of it. We'll come chat with you, and then I'll go have lunch with my mom."
And you said, "I'm not stalking."
No, I'm not. I wasn't. Yeah, I did. I prefaced that, and she just laughed. I didn't use the word stalking, but I said I know it seems a little strange, and I'm actually calling you from right behind. I'm right behind you. I'm actually at the Tacoma, right in back of you. But we just chuckled, and she said, "Yeah, call me. Call me when you get a chance." And I said, "I will." I'm looking. I explained to her about the blog. The blog is all about self-enrichment.
Yeah.
It's something that you experienced on the campaign trail too. I mean, I saw you out there. You're at Caesar's Palace, right up the road from us.
I lived there. I had an office there.
I actually drive by because I'm downtown a lot, or I ride my bike by and I see you on a picnic table, and I think, I should go stop. But you were probably getting ready to talk to somebody, so I said, no, I'm not going to interfere.
By all means.
Interrupt
me. It's a great example because during the campaign, if I was in any situation, let's say I was headed to a meeting or whatever, and somebody walked by me who looked familiar, I stopped and I went to him and I would say, "How do I know you?" Because 9 times out of 10 I knew him. More than 9, like 98% of the time they were like, "Yeah, you and I played baseball together when we were kids." That never happened. But I mean, we knew each other. Like, "Oh yeah, I think I saw you at this thing and that thing, and oh yeah, you're this or I'm that or I know you." Stop and just for the campaign you had to be open. And every day I knew like 20 things I had to do. However, you wouldn't know what would happen if you were not open.
Yeah.
If you didn't stop and talk to that person, because that person led me to that person, which led me to that one, which all of a sudden we create these webs.
Yeah, I found your campaign really interesting because it was not about politics. It was about getting out there and chatting with people and saying, "Hey, we're trying to do something good." It's like you said. I guess it was that book. It's what was it? It was
Go Giver.
Go Giver.
All right. So go ahead.
No, I just love the title alone, and I'm going to read the book now. But just the title alone, because all the time we always preface to go getter. What are you gonna do after college? What I'd like to know, and a lot of people do give a lot when they finally graduate college and find their way.
Another book is The Energy Bus. Really good one too.
The Energy Bus.
And they're uplifting, they're enriching books.
Right.
So, are you thinking about running again, or running for something? Because you were on the council.
I was on the council. I love the council. So my opinion of the board and what it did develop into it when I got on the board, I'm going back to when I was a child in elementary school. I remember the teacher said we're going to be getting in line and we're going to be walking down the hall to this new classroom, and it was just this remodeled classroom, and it was all about computers. It was a computer lab, the first computer lab we'd ever seen, and I still remember when the teacher said, "Someday, every home will have a computer in them," and that enrichment really developed the computer as we know it today. It is in everybody's life, 24/7. So the whole thing about the environmental board was I wanted people to understand the environment from a young age and the opportunity for careers in the environment. And so that was my thing about being a part of the Lake County Soil and Water Conservation District. And it was an educational piece that we did. We were always sponsoring environmental thoughts. We were always sponsoring scholarships for great stuff the kids did. And so I don't know that there's another role like that in government for me. So now I'm just going to find my role in this, what I'm doing now, and because there's a lot of things out there. I definitely know that, like you just say, kids they start out with great ambitions and they wind up spending their whole life in the restaurant business as a server or a bartender. I want to enrich people in the idea of really chase your dreams and find the path you're really looking for. Yeah. So that's more my thing now. I don't know that politics is anymore my thing, but I may run again.
Yeah. I mean, I had a friend of mine, a constituent, who said, Banks, you're an apolitical politician. And I was like, yay!
Right.
Well, now I need, 13,000 more votes like that. That was a great view. There are jobs in environment and education, in government. I don't know if running, however, as a candidate running for office, I had a platform. I could talk about anything. I could talk about the environment. I talked about me being a farmer a lot. You saw it. And that resonated with people. When people, oh, you're a farmer, there was something positive about that. And that's what I'm really doing a lot right now.
And that was a lot of what I watched was you on the farm every morning. So I was like, wow, that's a nice life. Walking down the pathways. And I was like, wow, that's nice. So I started this video earlier before you even got here, and they introduced Mia. I got her from a lady that breeded German Shepherds. I think she had a farm as well. And it was a really neat life to be out there and about, and I thought that would be really neat.
It's a lot. There's a lot of work. I love it. I'm fascinated by things that grow. I don't like to harvest. I'll eat the food, but somebody else can harvest. I love to grow stuff. That's just in me, and it came when I was a kid. I lived on a small farm, and I love to dig. And then I thought, later in life, I want to have some land. And it turned into, during COVID, it turned into a farm.
Yeah.
And now I have a co-farmer that farms with me, so there's two of us. And we have a 76 tree orchard of like 7 different types of trees. So we got figs and mulberries and peaches and pears and plums and elderberries and avocados. Wow. I got sugar cane. I call it a vineyard. It doesn't give me wine. It gives me grapes only. I don't make wine. I've got like 14 of those plants. I've got a food forest, which is mainly bananas. I've got pineapple. You're at my farm now, and I'm just directing you over where your sign is. I've got a pineapple and blackberry patch. I've got wild blackberries. I got bees. I've got a lake.
You got bees too?
Yeah.
I'm always going up there, right up the road from here is a nursery, and I get my honey there.
All right. Yeah.
It's real good.
I love farming. In fact, now what I do, and I started this in the campaign, I open my farm up once a month to whoever and whomever. I don't even know if it's whomever or whoever. One of those.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. 1,400 clowns went to clown college, but you don't know that one.
I would have graduated that, though. That would have been a lot of fun if I went to college. That would have been a lot.
I can see you.
I would have loved that. I watched you and I'm like, man, I would love to be able to do that. That would be neat. That would be really neat.
However, the farm is opened up. My next one is this Saturday coming up, and here's what I do. I give you a tour. It's about 90 minutes long. I teach you how to grow your own foods. I clip off tree branches that you can grow yourself and grow your own trees. And then we taste whatever's in season. So it's like a tour, teach, and taste.
So you realize I'm planning one of my next Coach Trip talks out there.
Oh God, yes! Please. What are you doing? What are you doing?
This Saturday I'm actually working, but I'm going to get with you, and we're going to do that. That's going to be fun because that sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh my God,
kids.
We can do it. Yeah, bring the kids. We can do it private. We can do it, every month.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd like to be a part of the group, the regular group, the once a month regular group.
11th of February would be the next one.
I'm going to work on that.
Second Saturday. Your son might be swimming, right?
He may be. He does swim 6 days a week, and I love that. He's dedicated. He did just throw his knee out playing volleyball, so he's only doing his upper body exercise, but he's still out there every day. And that was a big part of my feeling about the whole Coach Trippi thing was I wanted to get back in shape. I've lost about 70 pounds. I'm still not in perfect shape, and I exercise quite often more, now. But I felt like I became a better role model for my kids, and that was really important to me. And he's really leading the way, even though I tried to lead the way. He's taking over.
What happens? I heard this great quote the other day. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher it, but I'm gonna try it anyway. When you begin respecting your father is when you have a kid. There's something like that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
There's a quote like that.
Yeah, I realize now, man.
My dad is.
He was a good dad.
My dad was great, and you only realize that when you have a kid.
Yeah.
Because parenting, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I love it, but it does have its challenges. But I started a lot later in life. I mean, I literally, when I got Nicholas, I was 43 years old. Mm-hmm. So I was not a young. I mean, I sit with the parents and they're like, the grandparents over there. Well, actually, that's my boy. And the little one's my boy, too. But,
there's some ageism going on there.
Yeah, so I had the life experience I needed to at least know what I was getting into. I wasn't ready to be a parent, but at least I knew, I wasn't a kid myself anymore.
Right. Right.
So you're gonna run again, right, Banks?
I'm gonna run again. Yes.
Just tell me you're gonna file again.
I'm gonna file later this month as an independent.
Right.
Because I ran as an NPA, no party affiliate, and the issue was no one do it.
I only knew because of being in the business, I guess you would say.
Oh yeah. You were on the board.
But the independent seems like people know more, or it just has a better ring to it too.
Everybody said, "Oh, you're an independent." I'm like, "Well, actually, no, I'm a no party affiliate." Oh, so that means you're an independent. No, I don't affiliate with any party. Oh, that means you're an independent. And I'm like, okay, this Abbott Costello routine was just going to... So finally I was like, okay, I'm exhausted. I'm an independent. And that is an actual party in the state of Florida.
Independent.
The independent party.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So it made it easier. IND will be at the end of my name on the
Perfect. Well, I'm going to vote for you again.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, and you know what? This is the first time I've actually said it. I've thought it, and this time around, I'm going into the campaign, not as like, and you alluded to this earlier. Like, you weren't really running for office. You were, meeting people. I'm going into this not to the end goal is not to win or to get the most amount of votes. The end goal is to help as many people as I can.
Yeah, and because when you get out there, no matter how much you read about the friction that's out there, I guess you would say, but when you get out there, just like I did, and I literally I ran for U.S. House of Representatives one time, and I stood out in front of the Lake County drivers. What do they call that? The motor vehicle. DMV.
Yeah.
And I was getting 100 signatures a day. And I mean, people are nice. There's not that much friction. There's really not. I remember one guy got frustrated, and he took my clipboard and just walked away with it. And I wasn't about to, fight him for it. It really didn't matter that much to me. And then he drove back around. And I was like, geez. So I literally got close to his truck. I was thinking, if this guy starts shooting, I want to I want to get in the way of whatever it is that happens. And he's like, at least you're trying. And he signed my petition. And I was like, it's a crazy experience in my life. It was a little scary at the moment, but people aren't that mad. There's not that much friction. We really don't differ that much. I mean, I think there is a difference for sure. We definitely disagree adamantly. But so I had fun with it all, I had a lot of fun with it all.
I didn't come across people that were vitriolic, and I thought they would be, because I ran on civility. My whole thing is civility, and people were pretty civil. 3 people didn't like me or didn't like my policies or something, and they were, I call them the Dementors. Are you familiar with Harry Potter? The Dementors are those black things that are just like the energy. The energy was just like, oh my God, I got to get out of this as quickly as I can.
Oh, yeah.
And there were neighborhoods like that too. I would go into a neighborhood and it was just like depressing. And I'd go to other neighborhoods, downtown Claremont. It was just like, I was light as a feather. I could just do like 100 houses a day, easy. But I feel the same way about people who are not as ugly as you see on the news.
No, I had a lot of good feeling about it. I did have, like you said, the Dementors. I did have a little bit of negative energy, and I did just I never engaged them. I said, I understand, I appreciate your feedback, and I'll definitely give you what you have to say in consideration. I walked away, because I really, at some points, like you said, when they get that crazy, you don't even know really what they're talking about at that point.
You know what it was? They just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
They wanted to vent.
And I listened. I'm a good listener.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to be.
I was a good listener, that's for sure. But
yeah, you have to be. One of the things I learned, and I'm writing a letter to the editor for Atlanta Sentinel for what I learned, my takeaways from running. And one of them was candidates love to talk. And I tell this story about this one candidate that I sit down with her for lunch, and we were getting ready to do an event. And I just say, hey, how's the campaign going? That's all it was. How's the campaign going? And she's like putting something into her mouth. She's putting something in her mouth. She puts it down and she goes on. And I finish my sandwich, finish my potato salad. I have a cookie. I have 3 cups of coffee, and she's still talking. She has not put it. She was just talking. And I heard that a lot on the campaign.
Well, I would always say, if I went out to a place, it was Polk County. And they had some good restaurants out there, and I would always say, I want to hear from you. And people want to talk, but they were always nice.
Yeah.
And the one fun thing about it was, some lady, I told them about my glaucoma and how it was a big challenge, and then the lady called me and said, who's the doctor you're seeing? And I told her, I said, he's the greatest. And she called, and they didn't have appointments, and she said, my son's in trouble. I said, well, then just go to his office and sit in his lobby and just tell the girl at the front desk there, exactly just like you said to me, tell him, my son's in trouble.
Yeah.
And she called me back and she said, I got an appointment. First, she actually asked me, is that legal? And I said, well, as long as you're which you are a nice person, you can't be real, volatile about it. Just say, my son's in trouble. Yeah, it's perfectly legal.
Right.
And he got her in, and he was literally, this doctor was scheduled for surgery on himself. He got the surgery done before he went for his own personal surgery. She called me and she said, she just thanked me. So I had something good to happen out of it. She said, he'll never really see normal again, but he can live on his own. He can find a refrigerator now in his house, and and I just want to say thank you, because I won't be around forever. But now I know he's okay till the end of time.
Yeah. Jeff, you impacted so many people, and there are so many people you don't know that you impact. I mean, and that's what this campaign
That was always for me. It wasn't about politics. I really don't even understand that much about politics to be a politician. I would have to say. But I'm not so sure they all understand what they're in it for either. But
they're trying the best they can. They don't know. I mean, I feel you try the best you can. What do you do? And the whole concept of everything's political. I thought everything was political until I ran for office, and everything is not political.
No.
I mean, like the story that you told about the glaucoma boy. You helped somebody. You impacted somebody.
I helped him, and I helped her, because she was really happy to know that she may not be there.
Yeah. Oh my
and
God.
he's okay.
And that is the campaign. That is the benefits, the positives of the campaign, because you have helped somebody else. And wouldn't it be great? Because here's the thing with politics, or the thing with government is, the biggest game in town is government. They have the most resources, the most money, the most capital, everything, okay? Why not get into that pool and work within that so that you can help as many people as you can?
Yeah.
And you can. Now, I'm not saying government is the answer for everything. I'm saying that is the biggest game in town. I want to play in that pool, because that way I can help as many people as I can. Every constituent I can help.
Right.
My thing in the campaign was, once the primary was over, I was out there. I was out there before, and my opponent did not was not out there. Was not out there where I was. Yeah, and it would have been great if we were out there together. So one of the things that kind of erupted for me was, Banks is approachable. Banks is out there. Banks is in front of people. Banks is here. He's everywhere. When I heard Banks is everywhere, I was like, okay, I'm getting to some people. I just need 13,000 more to vote for me next time.
Well, that's the thing about politics, like a lot of things in life. It takes a second and third try. Sometimes it's the third one's the charmer.
Lincoln. Have you looked up Lincoln?
No.
You know how many times he lost?
No.
A lot. And I'm talking about the president.
Right. No, I know. I didn't know that.
Not
no,
Lincoln.
No, I know.
Yeah, he ran a lot.
Yeah, sometimes, because it's just like you said, you met a lot of people and definitely got a fan club out there, and now you're going to build it more, and that might be the second one that gets you there. And that could be the case for me. I don't know that I'm going to do it again. I haven't ruled it out, but I haven't.
Have you thought about something smaller? I mean,
yeah. I've thought about school board, actually.
Oh, man.
That's what I thought about, but and I probably will. I want to have more time,
All right, yeah.
And then that's my focus will be.
And you run. I encourage, so many people I went to came to me and they said, I want to run, how do I do it? And I was like, come on, let's go. And I took there was a woman and a man, and I took them both, different times, right to the supervisor of elections. So he sat down with Michael, who's the head guy that helps with candidates. And it's like, Michael, what does she need to do? Well, you need to do this, and both of them were on the ballot. And I was like, yeah. We need more engagement in that.
That probably happened. I've definitely not ruled it out.
Yeah.
But I think that my decision is made. If I rule it in, it will be the school board.
Nice. That's a good one to start off at. You were on the district.
I love the district. I thought we did some good stuff there. I love the events.
We had so much money. What were we the second largest financial in the state of Florida? I keep on telling people come to me and like, how can I get money for this or that in farm? And I'm like, go to the district.
Just call one of those guys. I mean, sometimes people don't even take the money.
I know.
And we're doing a lot of good. We were doing a lot of revamps on the irrigation systems and stuff, and a lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah, it's education. And now, speaking of that, during my campaign, 90% of what I did was educate people.
Yeah.
About bills, about what's going on in the state, about who to talk to, about getting, VA problems situated. They would be like, how do I do this? And I'm like, come here, I'll tell you how to do it. Or I'll send you the right person.
They'll get you in the right direction.
Yeah. So I was just like a hub for all
That's the secret code of life. There's a lot of that out there. When people, there's a lot of hardworking people out there that don't get as far as they should simply because they don't know the steps.
They don't know.
It's not a matter of they're not working. It's not a matter that they're sponging off the system.
Right.
It's a matter of they are working really hard and they're just not knowing the steps.
And you have to have navigators out there, people that help you. And I feel that, your representative is your navigator. Go to him or her and say, hey, how do I do this? How do I, and I know that Daniel Webster, I know one of the women that works for him. I mean, that's what they do. They educate all the time.
Right.
You need help with your IRS? Here, I can show you how to do it. Or, with VA? Here, I'll show you how to do it. And that is the way representatives need to work.
No, Dan Webster's a great example of that because it's a long story and I don't really put my kids out there too much. But when we adopted our kids, we had to adopt them here in Florida as well. And I didn't know how to do that. And it did say, no matter what you do, you're going to have an attorney by your side because you go in front of a judge. So I called Dan's office, and he said, we don't do that, but call this organization.
Yeah.
And they turned me on to a guy in Houston. It's a tiny office. I mean, it looked like the house was going to cave in on him. And he was the greatest adoption attorney in the world.
Yeah.
And he actually became a judge. His name is Brian Welke.
Yeah.
And he did everything for 1/3 anybody in Orlando would have done it for. So it was $1,500 versus the $4,500 that everybody in Orlando was pitching. And it was Dan's office I called. I didn't know who to call. I didn't know what to do. There was no manual on how do you get this done.
Call your representative, your state your county commission representative. Show up at the meetings, at the city council meetings. I go to, what I do when I run, and I started back 7 city council meetings, because they're in my district, District 25, school board, and county commission. So there's 9 a month that I go to and speak, and they give you like 3 to 5 minutes to talk.
Yeah.
And I talk about farming. I talk about civility. I talk about whatever is in the community now. I talk about how can we get along better? Hey, you're invited to my farm every month. I have all these people that I can invite. So
that's great. I'm gonna start doing that too and pitching, talking about.
It's free. It's free. They allow any citizens. I'm not even in like Astatula, and I go and talk at Astatula or Mount Bird or Mineola because I'm in the county, or Claremont, Mascot, Groveland. Howie in the Hills. Those are great opportunities that community is involved, and I noticed that the communities that are most involved get a lot done, or they're very they're instrumental in. If you go up in front of your county commissioner and you ask them, they're going to listen to you. That's what they do. That's what we're all going to do. If you don't show up when they're putting in 74 homes behind you.
Yeah, they're going to slip it past the goalie for sure. That one was. That one was.
You keep at it, and
I would have fought that one if I knew it, but
there is a woman in Groveland. Are you in City of Groveland?
Yeah.
All right. There's a woman in Groveland's. I love Groveland. I talked about Groveland when I was on the campaign a lot because they were very. In fact, I'm on the strategic board, sustainability, agro-lifestyle coordinator on their strategic board. And I'm not even in their city. Anyway, there's a woman there, and her name is Robin, and she knows more than, she knows a lot about what's going on in the city. And I always go to her and I'm like, Robin, what's going on? Why are there so many people here tonight? She's like, well, they're trying to put homes down in the green swamp. And I'm like, oh, okay. And the place is flooded. The place was busy a lot because people showed up because they cared.
Yeah, yeah. It's all right. My neighbors are nice back there. Me and we're always out there representing. We always go around back and say hi to people. So it worked out okay. I'm gonna stay in touch from now on with that stuff. That's great information.
Get out. Meet your neighbors.
Yeah.
These are the people that someday when you run for office, they're going to be like, yeah, Jeff, my neighbor, I'm going to run. And they get to tell other people about it. Yeah, he's running, he's doing this. It makes them feel good.
Yeah.
People become, and this is what happened in my campaign, I started out as me, okay? And when I first moved to Claremont, I knew less than 5 people in Lake County. That was 2016. 2018, I was on the board. 2022 was it? Yeah, that was last year. I knew some more people, but I did it alone, and I had friends, and people became invested in the campaign because they believed in this what I was saying, the civility, the NPA, for whatever it is, and these people started to just gravitate towards the campaign, and it was great. At the end, there were like 4 of us that we spent the last day together, knocking on doors, waving signs, meeting people, having coffee, going to the CBC to see the returns come in, and being disappointed. Some of us were disappointed. It was a process. The point is, people get invested in what you're doing.
Yeah, you did great though.
Because a lot of people. Fear keeps us away from doing it. We're like, I'm not going to run because it's so ugly out there. As you know, it's not that ugly.
No, it wasn't for me, not at all. Other than, like I said, I shared that one experience. There was definitely others, but not a lot. No, it was a lot of people were like, at least you're trying. And a lot of interesting people. Some good came out of it. The lady with the child that had his challenges, a lot of good came out of it. It was a good feeling. I mean, it was literally, she didn't call me back for a year and a half. I didn't know the number. I just picked up the call, and it was a good feel. It was great,
Yeah.
And I literally had a little tear roll down my cheek because I was like, wow, I'm happy.
You impacted her life.
Yeah.
You helped somebody else.
So that was it was a great experience. The thing it took away from me was my kids. Because I was out a lot, and I remember my 6-year-old at the time said, "When are you coming home?" And I was like, "Yeah, right now, buddy."
Yeah. My kids are grown up, 25, 27. They do their own thing. All I have to do is worry about me.
Yeah.
I'm a divorcee, and I have a lot of time, and I was just like, I'm gonna throw myself into it.
Well, that's probably my thinking too. Is when the kids are out and about.
Yeah.
Because that call was like, wow, I didn't think about it like that. He's like, when are you coming home?
Here's a great thing that happened to me, and this is like the best case. I always looked in the best case scenario in everything, and I had a woman who called me up, and she was like, left a message. Hey. Some guy with a black outfit is in my neighborhood, and he's leaving things at the doors of neighbors, and the neighbors are scared, and hey, we just want you to know she didn't say don't do it, but she was just like, don't, you're scaring the neighbors, basically is what she said. And I thought to myself, you know what, I could just wave it on and move on, swipe left, move on. And I thought, no, I'm going to call her back. So I end up returning her phone call, and I introduced my name is Banks. I'm running for State House. I'm in the neighborhood meeting neighbors. I was door knocking so that you could meet me. I want to represent you. And this woman, from her message to when she finally spoke after I spoke, she was like, "Oh, thank you." It was almost that like thank you for caring.
Call me back.
Calling
too.
me back. And from that moment on, anytime somebody was ugly towards me or whatever, I just found a way. How can I go above and beyond? The second one, real quickly. I left a door hanger on a door in Mineola. I get home, I get an email from a guy that says, "Hey, thank you for leaving it on. I'm glad. I believe in civility with you. I don't believe in your view of pro-choice. You're not getting my vote. You're blessed." And I thought, okay, what's the best case scenario? I came back and I was like, "Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Reach out to me if I can help in any way." And then I sat on it for 5 minutes. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go one step further. "Hey," I think his name's Stan. "Hey, Stan, I want us to be friends. How about if we go for a beverage sometime?" He comes back immediately. "That'd be great. Maybe after the campaign." It sounds like you're really busy now. After the campaign, we sat down, we talked, we laughed. We differed on pro-choice, pro-life. That's all we differed on. Pretty much that's all we did. Coolest guy. He's a friend now. I mean, and those were the best case scenarios. And it would never have happened if I did not leave a door hanger or run for office.
Right. You meet a lot of great people.
So.
Yeah, that's right. But I loved it. I really did. And I will do it again. But the boy's got to be about 21 next.
Yeah. Let him get up,
Try to
college on their own.
My 10-year-old's my buddy still, so I'm gonna try to get all that time in, and then
Yeah.
and my 15-year-old, he's going on his own, but he's my buddy, so I'm gonna close and keep that bond closed.
Yeah.
So that was great, man.
All right, man.
That was awesome. We got to talk.